Okay, so after we've done the circles, we're going to stretch the feet alternately, the ankles, pressing up and down with the toes. Make sure you're breathing. It's always a temptation to hold the breath. Good. And then open the toes wide and squeeze them together and open them wide and squeeze, open and squeeze and open and squeeze, and then kind of wave bye-bye with your toes. And then I like to put my hands behind my knees right there, and then I like to drop and drop and drop the lower leg. And that really feels good for the knees. By putting the hands behind the knees here, we're creating more space inside of the knees, and it really feels good for the knees. If you have knee issues, be careful, and you might want to skip that. You might want to just give your knees a little nice, loving massage like this. Good. Then not always, but sometimes I have this tie with me, and I loop the tie over my feet and hold it at the ends, and then I can relax my arms, and I can really press up with my heels so that I'm really stretching the backs of my legs. So I'm kind of pressing down with the lower back into the bed, and up with my heels, stretching the backs of the legs. And I have to tell you a secret. I'm not recording this in the early morning, as you can see, and therefore my legs are a lot looser. In the early morning, I can't quite stretch in this way. Good. And then just relax and let go of the tie. And then we're gonna bring the legs back up, open the arms wide, and open the legs and bounce, 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 and then cross them and open and cross them the other way like scissors. Make sure you're breathing. Good. And bring them together. And once again, give them a little squeeze. This is kind of to center and integrate the body. Whew, and let's take a little rest here and a few breaths. And just notice what's happening in the body. You can feel energy in the lower body quite a bit. And now we want to work a little bit on these outer muscles, this area outside the outer hips, which get very, very tight. So we're going to bring both feet on the bed and cross the right leg over the left leg, pressing into the heel. Okay? And we're going to bring this leg up, both of them together, with your hand. And then take your other hand and cross it over and hold on to the sole of that foot. And all you want to do here is relax this leg and just sit here. The more you pull towards you, the more you will feel the stretch right here in the outer hip. And it's an intense stretch. So make sure that you're breathing and relaxing into it. Feel the place where it's stretching. And we stay here for a little bit because we're working with connective tissue, and connective tissue takes at the very least, half a minute to stretch. Otherwise it just goes back to the way it was before you stretched. So take a little time here. This is one of my favorite stretches because afterwards it just feels so good. Somehow there's a nice freedom that comes into your legs from this. Okay, so that's one side. Take a breath in and out. Ooh. And let's do the other side. So cross the left leg over the right one. And take a hold of that ankle. pull it towards you. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Take your right hand, the opposite hand from that leg. Pull it towards you, and then this arm crosses over. By doing this, we're doing something called the Wayne Cook posture. And it's a posture that's used a lot, especially with children and so on, for the mental ability. There's something about these crossings of the energy here that really helps mental action and function. Lots of breathing. Remember that the more you pull towards you, the more you will feel that stretch. Try to stay in your center, not on one side or the other, but right in the middle. Good. We're gonna just a few more breaths. Good. And release. And then just for a moment, just do whatever your body feels like doing. Mine feels like kind of stretching. And then just letting go into the support of the bed for just a couple of breaths to relax. The next posture is a posture that is in mat yoga is very, very effective, and I found I can do it in beds as well. It's called the fish pose, because it's meant to make us look a little bit like a fish. So we bring our legs together, stretched. Take your hands and with your fingers together, cup your hands on either buttock down here, and bring your elbows, really tuck them into the body and press into the heels. So this is the setup for the posture. From here, we're going to press into the, into the elbows and lift through the heart, lift through the chest, and bring the back of the head onto the bed. So it sounds kind of complicated, but it's not. So here we go. I'm going to press into the bed with my elbows, keep them tucked in, lift my chest, and put the back of the head onto the bed. And now press into those elbows to keep yourself up, and press into the heels. So this is the fish posture. It really opens the chest. Lots of deep breathing here. Just do what you can. If you can't hold this for as long as I'm holding it, then just let it go. But make sure that you're breathing. We're going to take one more breath in. And then press hard into the bed with your elbows. Slide your head back and release. And now let's bring those interlaced hands behind the head. Like that. Press into the heels. And bring your elbows up. And then take a breath in and exhale. Look up and look at your toes. And this will stretch your back of the neck. Couple of breaths. And gently bring your head back and release. And you might want to roll your head a little bit side to side. Beautiful. Ooh. So let's take a little break here, just a couple more breaths. We're going to roll onto the belly now and do a couple of postures face down. And then that will be pretty much it. So here we are, relaxing. To roll over, I love to put one arm up and bend the opposite leg, push, and I roll myself right up onto my belly. And once I'm here, I bring my elbows right underneath my shoulders and my fingers wide open. This is called the Sphinx posture. So here we are looking like sphinxes, and try to don't look down and don't look up, because we want to keep the neck nice and long. So look kind of diagonally in front of you and press into the elbows and towards your body a little bit isometrically. So we're really creating a nice deep bend in the back. Stretch that neck. Okay. Now we're going to release down to the bed. Slide the hands under the shoulders so that we can come up. And here we are. And I'm going to take my pillow. I don't normally use a pillow, but I'd like to show you how to do this with a pillow because it's just so much easier. So what we're going to do is come into the child pose. And so using a pillow, you can bring the pillow right between you can even open your legs wider, bring the pillow right in there, and then just kind of snuggle into the pillow and bring your head down. And let your buttocks come down. So there's a real stretch in these quadriceps. If this is hard for your quadriceps because they're not they were tight, don't worry about it. Just take 2 pillows. You can have a great big thing here so that these are not stretching so much. So this is with a pillow. I'm going to do it without a pillow just because that's the way I normally do it. So here I am in the child pose. As you can see, this is really squeezing my belly, all the organs, and really stretching these muscles. You can stay here as long as you like. This is a wonderful posture to do. It brings your energy inward. It's soothing to the nervous system. It's called the child's pose. It's the pose that we were in when we were in our mother's wombs. So it's very comforting. So do that as much as you like. I'm going to go on to coming up into a table position. So my hands are under my shoulders, my knees are under my hips, kind of like a table with a kind of a flat back. And here what I want to do is move my back. So we're going to look at our belly button and press up with the back, and then come up and look up at the sky. Shoulders back, open the chest, and then back and forth. We inhale as we look up because we're opening the lungs, the chest. We exhale as we go down. So this is, again, one of the most beneficial postures for the back, for the spine. So good for it. You can do this as many times as you like. I'm going to stop here. And then we want to bend the spine side to side. So I'm going to swing my hips to one side and look back over my opposite shoulder, and then the other way. So side, side, side to side. Try to keep your neck level. Don't let your head hang. Good. And then come up to the center. And you can go back into the child's posture, which I recommend for you if your quadriceps are tight. If they're not so tight, I'm going to come into the hero posture, which is just sitting on my heels. In this posture, I'm as erect and tall as I can be, shoulders relaxed, everything is relaxed. I'm just resting here. This posture is one of the best postures for digestion. It stimulates the digestive meridian. So all the little acupressure points for the digestive system are being stimulated here. And so this is one of the postures that is really, really good for us again. From here, because I'm a freak about toes and such, I like to work my toes, as I've told my chair yoga students, but I like to come up and then press the toes under, and then you can stretch them again if you like, and go back and forth with the toes. After I do that for a few times, I like to actually let my weight drop down so the toes are being bent in the opposite direction. Again, there's so many all meridians that end in the toes, and so this again is stimulating all sorts of all organs in our body. Good. And then relax that. And then from here, just come into a sitting position. And like bring your hands to either side and push yourself up so that you can actually sit up and open the legs as much as possible. Press into the heels. Okay, good. So here we are in this position. So depending on your body, your legs might be bent a little bit. Ideally, you want to stretch them. So stretch through the heels. You want to stretch them a little further. You come further forward. But I like to do a movement here, which again is so good for us. And it's just pretending that I have like a great big bowl of something delicious cooking here. And I'm going to stir it. So I take a spoon and I begin stirring it all the way around. So I bring the spoon into my belly and out. So what we're doing here, as you can see, is really working with the midsection of the body and squeezing and releasing. And again, this is so beneficial for the organs. And release. You can do more than that. I'm just doing a few good, the opposite direction. And bring it back to the center. And then to bring the legs together, it's quite nice to bring your hands underneath your knees, lift them up, and then you can stretch them out. And here we are in a sitting position, and we're pretty much coming to an end. And so, again, this is one of the postures in mat yoga and classic yoga, which is so good for us because it stretches the body from the heels all the way through the back of the legs up to the top of the crown. And it's called Paschimottanasana in Sanskrit. We're going to do a version here, a very simple version. You can let your legs be relaxed, but the goal of this is to stretch as much as you can forward. So again, you can use a pillow here. If you feel that you need it, you can put it there and just let yourself kind of relax over your pillow. If you need more, you can have more than that. You can have 2 pillows and just let yourself relax like that. That's already quite delicious for your legs. I can feel it in the backs of my legs and the backs of my buttocks. If I don't use a pillow and just let my body relax forward. Let the head drop. Truly let go here. And once again, this is all of these postures. If you can hold them for a minute, that would be ideal. We're not going to do that here today. To release, just slowly pull back with your belly and come back up into a erect position. So my friends, from here, there are several options. You can just go back just for a few minutes, because after this you want to allow all of this work to integrate into the body and to bring you back into kind of homeostasis. So you can just lie down on your back in Shavasana, the corpse pose, with your arms up, hands up, and feet apart. Just let them drop to the side. Arms is also open. If you hold your hands close, there's tension here. So you want to just really let go. And you want to maybe move your head side to side a few times. Come back to the center. Make sure that the back of the neck is long, so press up through the crown of the head, the ears away from the shoulders. And then just let go into the bed until you feel that you're coming into a relaxed rhythm of your breath. So you want to have your attention on your breath once again. Once you feel that you have a regular rhythm to your breath in and out, and this is again one of these wonderful practices, especially for the days we're living right now, when there's so much stress out in the consciousness of the world. There's just so much chaos going on, that this particular way of breathing is incredible. It's so simple, and it creates space, a lot of space, for the emotions that are bigger than we are, that bigger than ourselves, like compassion and loving kindness, to come up, to surface. So here I am, just breathing. And all I do is begin to breathe as if I'm breathing through my heart. So you can put a hand in your heart if you like. You're just following the breath in and out. Try to keep your mind on the breath. You might have feelings of compassion, loving kindness come up. That's beautiful. That's lovely. Just dwell on them. Savor them. Good. So that would be the end of this way of ending the movement. There's one more way, which I go quickly, which is coming up, sitting up to the side of the bed. So here you are at the side of the bed. And here you can do the tapping, which we learned in chair yoga. So tapping starting at the head, at the top of the head. I am connected to a higher power. And then down to the beginning of the eyebrows here. I am vital. Oh, I can't even remember what it's like, how it goes. Vital, fully alive. And then to the end of the eyebrows here, I let go of anger and resentment. Let go of anger and resentment. And then right at the cheekbones, this is the stomach meridian, I trust the process of life. Trust the process of life. Between the nose and the upper lip, I am grounded in gratitude. Grounded in gratitude. Under the lips, I am centered in spirit. And then at either side of the collarbones where they end down a little bit, there's a little hollow there. Tap in there. This is very important place. This is where we experience fear. So tapping here is soothing to the nervous system. And the affirmation is, I go forward with courage. Go forward with courage. And then right here in the breastbone, this is the thymus gland. It's the immune system. My immune system is healthy and strong. My immune system is healthy and strong, up and down. And the last one is the spleen meridian right here in these ribs and to the sides. I nourish myself with kindness. Nourish myself with kindness. Good. And then I lean forward and go up and down the spine and into the buttocks. And then to make sure that the energies are moving the right way, put your hand on the opposite shoulder and slide it along to the opposite hip. So slide and slide, just to keep those energies crossing, which is what they want to do in our body. And from here, you get up and you have a delicious, wonderful day, and you will be much happier in your body for having done these. And I want to thank Kim for recording this, and wishing you all happiness. Namaste. When I'm in this place inside of me, and you're in this place inside of you, we are one.